Okay, so most reviews on Ali Abdaal's part-time YouTuber Academy focuses on one question: is the course good? But after spending $995 going through the program myself, I don't think that's the right question, because the course itself is fucking banging. In fact, it's probably one of the most comprehensive YouTube courses I've ever been on. But the real question is it still the right course for the type of creator you want to be in 2026? So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's inside the program, what still works in my opinion, the results I've got from it, and whether it is still spending nearly £1,000 on it today. Let's get into it. So the first thing that actually baffled me was how much content was in there. Like, before you even get to the main program, you get access to the part-time YouTuber foundation course. This is basically the complete guide on YouTube. You know, it's made up of 7 modules, 28 lessons, and over 4 hours of training. Like, it literally covers the A to Z of starting a channel, filming yourself with a phone, you know, creating that first couple of videos to build a little bit of momentum. Then you get access to the main part-timer YouTube Academy course. This is obviously where the bulk of the content lives. So we're talking about 30 modules, 140 lessons, and over 17 hours of training. Ali literally goes through everything from finding your niche, understanding your audience, titles, thumbnails, scripting, you know, growing your channel, outsourcing, monetization. He goes through pretty much every single skill you can to become a well-rounded creator. And one thing that I found was an absolute game changer was the thumbnail pack. So this includes about 50 different Canva thumbnail templates and examples that you can use for your own video. So you can literally use them for inspiration. You can just copy and paste the elements and add them to your thumbnails, like I've done throughout this whole channel. There's also loads of different creator interviews, people like Thomas Frank, Nathaniel Drew, Pat Flynn, and other successful YouTubers, you know, along with additional courses like camera confidence, short form content, and Final Cut Pro editing. And then you've got the community aspect as well. So you've got forums, you've got recordings, feedback sections, accountability groups, and places to ask questions. I feel like this course is ridiculously stacked full of information and value. Okay, so moving on to what still works in 2026. I personally think most things work, like the style of the titles and the thumbnails are still pretty relevant. Ideally, you know, he teaches you how to analyze the market and replicate good ideas. So I feel like the methods that he teaches are evergreen anyway. So it could work, you know, in the next 10 years because you're learning how to see what works and what doesn't. One of my favorite examples is the birdsong technique for generating ideas. You know, it's practical, it's simple, and it's something I've done and taught personally on this channel myself. And the same goes for scripting, packaging, consistency, building systems, and content creation in general. Like, the platform changes, the algorithm changes, but it's obviously the understanding of human psychology is what will allow you to get to that next level, and Ali definitely teaches that in this course. Okay, so the bad. So I've gassed it up enough. I need to tell you what's, you know, a little bit bad with the course. So one of the bad things with the course for me is the community section. It's not the most active. Don't get me wrong, like, people still do communicate, but it's not as active as it once was. Naturally, this is going to be the case because it's an older course. Of course, you're not going to get like 50 people jumping on, you know, comments and feedback posts and this, that, and the other. But if you do, I've noticed if you do post something in one of the feedback or accountability places, you don't always get a reply. So if you're looking for an accountability partner or you're looking for a bit of give and take with other people, you know, people do it, but it's definitely something you shouldn't be excited about going into the course. You know, there's not really any mentorship. It's kind of pretty much just a course. You're able to bounce off ideas sometimes if people reply. But like I said, it's an older course. Naturally, as time goes on, people won't communicate as much inside the course. That's pretty much it. You know, if you have a question, ask it. You might get an answer. You might not. I'm just grasping at straws, really. Wow, sweating like a madman. Oh my days. So the biggest thing this course gave me wasn't a specific skill. It kind of gave me the competence to become a creator across the board. You know, I became better at editing, you know, thumbnails, titles, systems, better at understanding what it actually takes to build a YouTube channel. I think I predominantly learned a lot about Final Cut Pro through this course, and what the Part-Timer YouTuber Academy does exceptionally well is turn you into a well-rounded creator. Now, if you're looking to become like an elite storyteller, elite editor, elite copywriter, or anything, you need to look at something more specialized. Like, this will just give you the basics, the foundations. You know, if you want to become a competent creator, then this is the perfect, I guess, course for you. But if you want to be specialized, I wouldn't join this. see, the biggest problem that no one talks about is when Ali actually created this program, the dream was so simple for everyone. You know, start a YouTube channel, grow an audience, quit your job, become a full-time YouTuber, right? Smashing, great, amazing. I had that same dream as well. But for some people now, the economy's changed, right? The creator economy's definitely changed. I think most people now want to build a business. They want to sell digital products. They want to teach clients. They want to, you know, have like certain offers that allows them to monetize outside of YouTube. They want to have cohorts that enable them to have like 5 to 6 figure months and be able to leave their job and create a lifestyle business, as opposed to just relying on views from YouTube and having, you know, sponsorships or deals that can limit the content you actually are able to make. And that to me is a dangerous game, because everything becomes views, everything becomes about your performance. And when the views stop, you know, things can become very uncomfortable very quickly. Like for me, I've seen so many different creators stop over the years because of that problem, right? They felt this pressure to having to constantly produce views to enable to have a living, to earn a living. But I think the new creator doesn't want YouTube to be the business. They want YouTube to feed the business. And I think that's a completely different goal. So the Part-Time YouTube Academy is optimized for helping you become a creator, but it's not heavily focused on helping you build a business around your content. And I generally think that's why people like Ed Lawrence, the bad man, James Smith, bad man, are like becoming so popular, because people are now looking to create businesses online and have YouTube as their traffic source to directly, you know, show them to the products, their services, etc. I feel like we're shifting to that side, because even Ali himself seems to be moving into that direction with his newer programs like the Lifestyle Business Academy. You know, the market's changed, creators have changed, and the goal has changed. So is Ali's Part-Time YouTuber Academy still worth it in 2026? I would say yes, but only if you're buying it for the right reason. Like if you want to become a better creator, like generally, like if you're new to it, I would definitely consider it. If you want to become a business owner first and then a creator second, there's probably better investments that you can make out there. I think the course isn't outdated. Like there's still things, there's 99.9% of things that still work, but the dream itself has definitely changed. If I could go back in time and I was given the opportunity to buy it again, knowing what I know now, would I buy it? Probably not. Maybe Ali's new course could be a potential better investment.